morning.
Okay, you're good.
So make sure that you have all of your paperwork turned in or with you when you come and check in on the first day for your first shift. I know we don't have a walkthrough this time, but you will come in and check in at the volunteer registration office, which is going to be on the second floor in Hall B. So if you take the B escalator, well, you can. The best way to get into the GRB, especially if you're in the morning, somebody who's coming in the morning, your best bet will be to actually use the sky bridge that the Hilton has with the GRB. It'll pop you out in front of the Starbucks, and then you will make the trek all the way to B. And that's where we will be, and that's where we'll take anything. That's where we'll be. Yes. Anyways, you'll have to forgive the puns because it's been a long week. But any paperwork that you still need to turn in, we will take, any deposits, and for you to pick up your badges so that you can actually begin working. So,
and your volunteer shirts.
And your volunteer shirts. So now that she brought up the volunteer shirts, yes, everyone's getting a volunteer shirt. Yes, you have to wear it. No, you cannot modify it while you're working. What you do with it after Comicpalooza is over with, you can modify to your heart's desire. The main thing is we want to have a front so that when the attendees come, they know if I see that shirt, that's somebody I can go to for help. Okay? So we want to have that, the whole reason why we're here is, yes, we want you guys to have fun, but we also want to make it fun for everybody else as well. So the main goal when you're volunteering is to put on your happy face. Maybe not as creepy as my fake happy face, but you want to put on a happy face. And oh no, of course not. So you want to put on your best customer service face, because that's what we're here for, is to make this enjoyable for everyone, make new friends, and just have a fun experience. Thank you, Mike. Any interjections at this point? No? Okay. So, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Sydney. I'm also known as Minion 1. If you ever meet the head of volunteers, her name is Meredith. And this is my illustrious cohort, Brittany, also known as Minion 2. Yeah. Typically, when you come in, one of us, which you can't see Meredith, one of us and Meredith will be in the office at all times. We are going to be the ones handing out the shirts, the badges, doing the general check-in stuff. That being said, when you actually get ready to go on shift, you will go to your appropriate area, work for your appropriate coordinator or director, and they will give you what your actual schedule or duties will be. Okay? Sorry. So that being said, as you've all seen tonight, traffic can kind of be a bit tedious getting in, especially with all the construction. So make sure you show up early to your shift. It makes things run a lot smoother. If you are unable to come in on time, you should have contact information for whoever you are directly reporting for. And I highly recommend that if your traffic is that bad, you text them, let them know you're on your way, but something's holding you up. Phone calls are probably not going to be your best bet, just because if you're busy working and running around a little crazy, I probably wouldn't pick up my phone. Even though you may have the best of intentions, if you have a text, I can pick it up, read it, see you're running late, file it away, and then go about working and seeing if I can get somebody to come your shift or whatever needs to happen. That being said, always carry your cell phone on you as well, in case you do need to text or check for time. If you don't have a cell phone, please wear a watch so that way you know what shift you should be working, so that way you know what time to get and where. No? Okay. Okay. Sorry, give me just a second. Oh yes, and if you want to work more than the minimum 16 hours, we're okay with that. Hard worker bees that you are. So if you want to work more than 16, we're not going to say like, whoa, sorry, we only have you down for 16 hours. No, we'll be like, yes, that's awesome, great. So I'm going to kind of be bouncing here and there, so please please forgive me. So as I mentioned, everyone gets their volunteer shirt. There is a slight dress code in the sense that when you're wearing your volunteer shirt, it's usually helpful not to wear shorts so short that it looks like you're not wearing any shorts at all. I know, it's times. So we do recommend if you are wearing shorts that they are at least, finger length or appropriate. You can wear jeans, you can wear shorts, you can wear a kilt. I've been told if you do wear a kilt to wear it proper. There are some rules depending on which area you're in where these dress codes will be more strict. So this is sort of for general volunteers. There are some areas where you can't necessarily take our rules verbatim because I believe if you are in health, guest hospitality, they have more restrictions on what you're allowed to wear because you are putting on more of a face, especially with the celebrities and things like that. So when in doubt, talk to your coordinator if you have a question about what you're wearing. That being said, one of your most important things that you're going to need to do is wear comfortable shoes, broken-in shoes.
Trust us on this one, seriously.
There's a gentleman, I don't think he's here tonight, but when he actually wore a Fitbit, I think last year, over the course of the 4 days, he worked in registration, walking up and down the lines. He basically walked a marathon. He walked 26 miles. So when you hear these boots are made for walking, you probably don't want boots because they're not really made for walking. I recommend tennis shoes or whatever shoes you wear that are comfortable. I do not recommend flip-flops, even though I myself love them, but they're going to tear up your feet. Okay. Do you want to go ahead?
While on duty, there's unfortunately no cosplay. We know that you've worked really hard on your costumes and they're usually super awesome. But while you're on duty, make sure you're wearing your volunteer shirt visibly. So again, it's kind of per department. General volunteers, if you want to wear cat ears or something, that's fine, as long as your shirt is visible on both sides. That's pretty much it. That's for cosplay. When you're off duty, cosplay away. Feel free.
That being said, when you are off duty, your volunteer shirt should not be on at all. If you are taking a break, if you have just finished your shift, go ahead, change your shirt out. If you did not bring a shirt for you to change into, turn it inside out so that way the volunteer logo and the CP logo are not showing so that people aren't stopping you, asking you to work when you're really not working.
Because it really doesn't look good if you're sitting there playing video games in your shirt and someone asks you and you're like, no, sorry, I can't help it. So.
Because, yeah, we don't want to put that front on. We really want to be as helpful to people as we can.
So bring an extra shirt, like a...
It would help to bring an extra shirt. That being said, while we are in the room, if you want to store stuff in our room, you can. It's not secure, but you can feel free to go ahead and bring a change of shirt, clothes, and leave it in there while you're on duty and then come pick it up when you're done. Just be aware that it's not secure. People are constantly coming in and out of the volunteer office.
Can we use backpacks during the day?
Yes, but the same rules apply.
So you can't wear it.
Okay. So yeah, some people, if you leave your purse, if you leave your backpack, just be aware, other volunteers are coming in there and out there, and if we're not responsible, we will hold it for you, but we are not going to be keeping an eye on it for you.
Can you wear a backpack during your shift?
We really want the logo to be visible when you're on your shift. That being said, we are working on having these handy-dandy volunteer survival kits, of which there is a sling bag included.
They're pretty awesome.
So if you want to wear your sling bag while you're working, I think that's okay.
Yeah, that would be okay, as long as it doesn't obstruct the back logo, which should be most of the back of the shirt, I think.
Yes.
Can you wear a GoPro on your head?
That one I'm going to have to say you should email Meredith on, because there are some celebrities and stuff where they don't allow videos or pictures. So.
I think I'm working with her, so.
Oh, well. Okay. Okay. Yes.
We didn't have a parking pass this year?
So, for those of you who had volunteered with us last year, we were able to get a volunteer parking lot. This year, with all of the construction and things like that, we don't have that available to us. So it's kind of fend for yourself in terms of parking. We do recommend, especially since we have the Facebook page, that you carpool as much as possible. Make new friends. And it makes things easier. That being said, if you do make new friends, please be courteous to them and shower. Personal hygiene is something we want to encourage. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but as you're out there, for anybody who's gone to enough cons, there are things known as con crud, con funk.
Nobody likes con funk.
Yeah, so that being said, if you are having, issues, maybe you haven't had a chance to take the time, if you need to borrow a shower, we will have a shower where we will take you to one of our rooms and we will let you shower and come back to work. But ideally, just try to be as hygienic as possible. If you don't appreciate certain smells, then you should try to make sure that you don't have the same smells in general.
Deodorant is your friend.
That being said, especially with the con crud, the survival bags, I believe, will have hand sanitizer in it. So if that is a concern for you guys, we are trying to provide hand sanitizer for y'all.
And we should have a larger bottle where you can refill it, so don't worry about running your hand sanitizer sparingly. We should be able to refill it up in the volunteer room. Oh, speaking of other things to wear at all times, aside from your shirt, make sure your volunteer badge is on you at all times once you get it.
Washing's easy without a badge, they're going to try and keep you out. So make sure you keep your badge on you and in a visible place.
Yes. So this one, we really can't stress enough. Customer service is your job as a volunteer. Be courteous, be polite, please, thank yous, everything that your mama taught you.
The one phrase you want to try and avoid is, I don't know, or I don't care. Yes, you care, and if you don't know, find someone who does. Never say, I don't know, and leave it at that. If you don't know, say, let me find someone who has the answer. Let me check in my handbook. Let me check on the app, because there is a Comicpalooza app, and do your best to help them. If you still can't, direct them to somebody who can, whether that's board coordinator or even if you need to send them up to our office.
You should be security.
Yes. Okay, so for those of you who don't already know, I know a lot of y'all know about the handbook because either I've said it or you've seen it. If you don't already have it, we will work on that. But the handbook, your handy-dandy handbook, nice, is your friend. It gives you all the information we're covering in here today, but there will also be, I think, a slightly modified version from the one that was emailed out. It will have a map of the GRP, which should be super helpful because people like to know where they're going.
It'll be especially helpful with all the construction going on because, we're not even going to know where everything is at the time because it's been changing so much.
Right.
So keep your map on you. Don't get lost.
It is yours. You can write on it if you need any notes, things like that. Oh, okay. So part of that, especially for those of y'all in programming, there are a lot of different types of VIP badges. This can be a pain point for some of the attendees. So if you are monitoring a line, especially for a big name celebrity where people are line jumping, we will have a list of what those various VIP badges are and what they allot you. If you have a general VIP badge, that will usually give you a line jump to most anybody. If you have a specified one, let's say for Gotham, then that will only give you line jumps for Gotham. That being said, if you have Gotham and VIP, Gotham VIP takes precedence over VIP. So it's going to be a little confusing, but just please be aware of it. That is something that our attendees really do pay attention to how we react on, because that's what they pay for. Is if they pay extra to be able to line jump, they want to be able to line jump, we need to be able to specify the rules around line jumping, especially if you're in programming, because they're usually the ones monitoring those cues the most.
And again, if you don't know if they come up to you with a badge and you're not quite sure if they're supposed to be there or something, find somebody around you should know. Just never tell them that you don't know.
So you get one shirt. If you lose your shirt, we're going to have problems. If you lose your badge, we are really going to have problems. So make sure you keep track of those items. If you lose your badge, you are not getting another one. If you lose your shirt, we may make you dance or something for anyone.
We might have a spare, but it also might be a 6X, and you would just have to deal.
Yes.
It'll be like a crystal.
Exactly.
Yes, we have seen this done. I'm not going to name names.
What are you talking about? Nice. It's all nice.
Yes, so when you come up to the volunteer room, in addition to checking in, this is also where you can come and take a break, where you don't have to take your shirt off. You can actually, I know, sad times.
We're not running that kind of establishment here.
So, but that being said, just be aware people may stop you on the way to the volunteer room to take your break. Please be courteous, please try to help them where you can, and then make your way into the volunteer room to take your break. We will have snacks. We will have the big jugs of water that you can dispense. For those of you who were here last year and have those awesome little water bags, we're doing those again because it's super helpful. The main key is we want you guys to stay healthy and hydrated. We also don't want y'all starving. If you need to grab a granola bar, grab a granola bar. If you need to grab 2 granola bars, grab 2 granola bars.
Please don't pass out and make us send you to the nurse.
Yes. The other thing too is don't be so greedy that you're hoarding and stuffing your bag full of snacks, because these are snacks that are for everyone. So we understand you may be hungry later, you may take a bag of chips or a granola bar for later. That's perfectly fine, perfectly understandable. But let's try to avoid the, I'm just going to cram it full of as much stuff as I possibly can.
Buy your own shit.
On the food note, and also the storing things in the volunteer room note, we will let y'all bring like a small personal cooler if you have like special dietary needs or something. Then a small cooler, not something that you're going camping for like 2 weeks and filling up with supplies. Just something small because we won't have a lot of space. But again, we're not going to take responsibility for stuff. You're welcome to leave it, but we won't be taking responsibility for anything that's left in the room.
Right.
But you are more than welcome to bring a cooler with snacks or anything if you have special dietary needs that require special foods.
Yes.
Will the GRB be selling food in the lobbies like they normally?
Yes, they will be. So the GRB normally will be selling food. That's still going to be happening this year. Also in our room, the one thing we'll have available to you guys, if y'all are curious and not talking, we will have extension cords. So for those of you, smartphones tend to die, especially if they can't get good signal. We will have extension cords where you can drop it off, plug it in, maybe leave it there for 10 minutes or something, or while you're off doing something. Once again, our room is not secure, so just be aware of that, but you will have a spot where you can come and charge your phone while you're on break or something like that if you need to.
Okay. If there is programming that you want to see while you're here, if there's a panel that you want to see, or a show or something, whatever's going on.
Or if you really need an autograph or a picture with a
You
celebrity.
really have to have Jeremy Renner's autograph. Just let us know, and we will.
And when we say us, let your director or coordinator know.
Yes, us. But as a whole, we'll do our best to make sure that y'all get to see what y'all come here to see. So just let your director, coordinator, whoever know, and we'll try to work with your schedule as best you can.
Do you mind?
Along those lines, does the app kind of update pretty regularly? Because there's a lot of programming changes, and I got a lot of questions about when is such a...
So last year, I know they were actively working on updating Guidebook as they got the okay from JR to make those programming changes. So long as you have the app on you, it should ping you and let you know when those changes are coming across. That being said, the GRB does not always have the best cell signal, depending on your carrier, so be aware of that, and, it's just something that you'll have to know about, but yes, it will be updated.
Okay, so I know we'll probably bump into celebrities if you happen to see them walking by or something. Wait until you're on break to take pictures of celebrities or cosplays or what have you. Just because, again, along the same lines of if you're wearing your volunteer shirt, it just looks like you're not doing your job, and we just want to avoid that as much as we can. So, if you can snag a quick break and just go take pictures then, that's great. If you just are absolutely dying, just don't take too long.
So, like last year, John Barron, they dropped her out in the middle of a panel. If you happen to be there, especially, and you find that, like, oh my god, this is a once in a lifetime experience.
By all means, please take a picture.
So that is a real life example of something that did happen. So, we're not saying you can't have any fun. We still want this to be fun. We still want to maintain some sort of decorum of professionalism.
Considering he does that at every panel, it's not very fun.
Yeah, but it's always Batman underwear.
Yeah.
So, that being said, we will have medical on the 3rd floor. And so what medical will do, if y'all could just chill for a second and let me finish talking, that would really be awesome. So, if you get a cut, a bruise, oh maybe not a bruise, a cut, a blister, anything that needs medical attention, you can go up to the 3rd floor. They will help you out there. If there is a lost child, do not touch, don't touch them. Don't touch the children. But on top of that, you don't need to worry about guiding them anywhere. What you need to do is we will have HPD officers, we'll have watchmen, we'll have people, or if you need to flag down a staff member, we will have people available who will then take them up to the 3rd floor. If somebody inquires about a lost child, you can direct them to the 3rd floor to the medical area, because that is where all of the lost children will be taken. And general volunteers should not be taking them up there. It should always be a member of security or HPD or somebody like that. We want to make sure everybody's safe. That being said, in addition to medical being on the 3rd floor, for those of y'all in programming, you will probably be spending the bulk of your time on the 3rd floor. The majority of programming is going to be up there. Gaming is also going to be on the 3rd floor. 2nd floor will be our office, as well as registration. Anybody who's buying a ticket. 1st floor is, of course, going to have the guests, the artists, anything with sports, I think, is on the 1st floor. Or did they go that? Oh, it's on the 3rd floor now? Okay, I lied. Sports is on the 3rd floor. But 1st floor is going to be guest artist dealers, exhibitors, as well as food, and that's also going to be where Will Call is. So, for those of y'all in registration, y'all definitely know that. If you're buying a ticket in hand, you're going to be on the 2nd floor. If you've already purchased it and you're just picking up your badge, that will be on the 1st floor. That being said, for anybody in line to buy a ticket or for a badge, they can buy them from their phone mobily and switch to the line downstairs. So that would be kind of cool for anybody who's having to work those lines, which is, you know, super fun.
Just out of curiosity, on Monday, veterans and servants still get in free?
Veterans still get in free on Monday.
Now, do they stand in the long line to get in, or how do they get in?
JR?
Oh, that's a registration question.
I figured you would know, because you know everything.
Karen's on the other side.
Karen's on the other side? Okay. So we'll try to get Karen, when we introduce staff, we'll try to get her to clarify that. Oh, she's right there. Do you want to say it where people can hear? So just so you know, Karen's coming up for registration. She can clarify your registration questions. Right now it's just about veterans and how they can go about getting in and stuff like that on Monday.
Okay. Basically, veterans get in for free on Monday. So, I guess my question. Oh yeah, they'll go up to registration because I don't think they can get their I don't think they can pre-purchase because it's free.
Right.
So yeah, they should go up to registration, which is on the second floor in Hall A, which is all the way down. So yes, Jake.
You should also notify that uniform is not guaranteed entry. You must have a valid ID that is either current military, retired military reserve, or a veteran's ID.
That's
Yeah,
that's 14.
oh yeah, but really only my volunteers.
Yeah.
Where are the registration volunteers? Yeah. Wow, there's more than you ever thought. Yeah.
So since Karen made that nice segue for us, we're going to go ahead and start introducing some of the staff. So Karen is registration. Any other spiel you want to throw out there?
There's different stations for registration. So there's will call registration, merch booth, autograph booth, and that's it. There's another one, but it's really none of you really need to know about it.
And after our meeting here, after we introduce all the staff, you're going to find the person that you're working with. So if you're in registration, you're going to come find Karen after this meeting's over with. And whatever she needs to relate to specifically registration volunteers, she will work with you on. Yay! So we have that. I mentioned JR earlier. JR can come up here. JR is part of programming. And under programming, there are a couple of other things.
Line control.
Line control is part of registration. So I know JR is going to be up here. Line control is part of registration, and she can go over that with the registration volunteers as well. But JR is head of programming. Under him, I believe Adrian, I saw he's over sports. He's
Aaron.
and you can give a spiel if you want. Introduce, if you have any staff members you want to introduce.
Okay, so programming is pretty much anything that does not happen on the exhibit hall floor or the second floor. So all your panels, all your workshops. Gaming is, of course, under Joe Charles, but that is also on the same floor as programming. Our sports and our music is all part of the programming as well. So the way we operate is that we are one of the few cons that continues to have a lot of after-hour programming content way beyond when the exhibit hall closes. Most people that are programming, they'll carry on until about 8 or 9 at night when everything else closes at 6. We keep going until 2 a.m. And we have a lot of content, yeah. But we want our people, when they come and they get that weekend pass, and they're going to get what their money's worth. So when they come in, they know that when they're done with the floor, there'll be a lot more stuff for them to be a part of, and a greater experience when they walk away. This also allows them, whenever they walk away, they go, wow, that was great. I'm going to do this again next year. And we really want to promote that to people and have them come back and bring people with them.
And if you're in programming, you can meet with him afterwards. I know that there are some people who don't know where they go. You can get with me afterwards and I will look that up for you. My guess, and I'm just throwing this out there, is if you don't know where you're going, you're probably going to be with this guy.
Now,
Probably.
programming also consists of anything from anime, steampunk, science fiction, science fiction, literature, Doctor Who, and as part of that, because of how low we do it. Watchmen has actually been put under programming just for this year while we get things taken care of. So if you were also a watchman or you were assigned as a watchman, you would be a part of programming. And the people you report to, our head of watchmen is actually Sean Crawford, who is not here tonight. But two of our lieutenants, named Rasan and Rolo, who are in the back
in the back corner.
will be ones that you guys will be going to if you have any questions or concerns, or if you just need to know what's going on for the day that you are working.
Last year, there was a lot more people than projected when the Stanley came. And I know that things were altered a little bit, and stores that people were leaving, people were coming in for free. Is there a much better plan in place this year?
One of the great things, one of the things we actually do anytime we do a con is we actually pay attention to a lot of things. And we always welcome any type of questions, not only from our attendees, but also from volunteers or anybody else that says, hey, you know, I see kind of a problem or concern here, can I tell you? And we listen. And we will...
No, go finish your thing.
Well, you interrupted me, woman.
She has a name.
You didn't tell me what's name.
If only Meredith is here. Oh, she'll watch it later. You'll get your comeuppance.
So anyway, no, we actually do pay attention. Every time you bring something up, we listen. And we incorporate it to next year. Every con, everything that we do, we're always going to have hiccups. We know that. But we learn from them. And we try to make sure that we do not repeat mistakes, that we improve from mistakes, and that we learn from new ones that come across. So again, if anybody ever sees anything within the con you feel could be an improvement, please tell us. Let us know. We welcome your input. We welcome your viewpoint on this. Because we cannot get better, and we cannot do better for you guys if you don't say anything.
JR, is there going to be a steampunk ball this year for chance?
There is not a steampunk ball this year.
Just to add to how we made security easier, I guess, is that now there's a community lobby instead of, if you remember, like the 5 foyers before you got into the exhibit hall, there's a community lobby now. So there's only 2 main entrances instead of 5 now. So B Hall is the main entrance where everybody can go through on the first floor, and then C Hall is the VIP entrance where only VIP people can enter through. So we have a lot more control in actually being able to spot the badges that we need to, or no badges for some reason. So that'll really, really help us this year. And every door is an exit, though, because it needs to be.
Now, another thing, you brought the question about people having no badges. That's something that we all, as volunteers, need to be vigilant of. Where people sneak in? Absolutely. It happens. Even to the most secure convention that, from Dragon Con to Comic Con, people get in, and they might not pay for it. So be vigilant about such things like that. If you don't see someone with that little wristband, or if you don't see that badge around there that's one of our authorized badges, don't hesitate to say something. And just ask them, like, hey, where's your badge? And they say, well, I didn't know you needed a badge. Oh, yeah. Tell them what registration is. If need be, walk them up there so they can get money to get the badge.
Then we also have operations over there with Carrie. We'll walk the mic to her.
Hi.
Gonna pop on Saturday.
Yeah,
I'm gonna win.
as he said, my name is Tierney Lyons. I am Director of Operations. That means I run basically the whole first floor. Vendors, artists, any of the areas that you see stationed around. We handle cars, load in, load out. If you're already in my department, we're working on the schedules right now. Brianna, who is not here, is my other assistant. My husband, Steve Harris, he will be walking the floors. I will not. I'll be in a cart. I will be 38 weeks pregnant at Con. And no, Michael, Georgia Kai is not delivering my baby.
But Dawn is.
No, I am not.
I've got to win. I have got to win. Okay. All right.
You can buy me diapers. But when it comes to the first first floor. Also, as they were saying about badges, exhibitors, dealers, artists, ones that say exhibitor badges, and the guests are the only ones besides staff members that are allowed before VIPs. It opens at 8 o'clock for the people that have the booths and tables and everything else to be on that floor for setup to get open. You know, they make the con as much as all of y'all and as a guest. You know, they are a big part of who we are, what we run. Heck, probably 90% of y'all own something they sold. If not more than that, because I know my house is kind of full. If you have any questions about an artist or a dealer on the first floor, if you're working with me, there is going to be a booth. It is going to say Pro Reg badge and also information. If they have a question about the first floor, you can send them to that booth. We will have large-scale maps. We will have information for them. Otherwise, if it's not dealing with the first floor, it goes to whoever's apartment is on that level. But a good 90%, except for the celebrity and guest area, is handled by me. The other person that handles the first floor, which is celebrity and guest, is Ginger.
Ginger!
Your turn.
Should I get them chanting like I did?
I got everybody chanting, "Don't lose your badge" at the restaurant the other night. Hi, I'm Ginger and I handle all the guest hospitality, the food and beverage on the floor, external parties that go on outside the GRB, which we do have a cosplay kickoff party Thursday night at Meteor Lounge. We're also in the, we also kind of help logistics with organizing shuttle stops.
Go logistics. Go logistics.
So there will be a shuttle. I also handle the hotels. So everybody that has reserved a hotel one way or another will get Tanya in the back, if you'll stand. Tanya will be in the check, has entered everybody's rooms, and they'll go in a mass mail merge probably tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. And you should get an email with your confirmation number out of the passkey system, which all got transferred as of tonight into all the various hotels. So if you reserved a hotel room, you already probably may have gotten a confirmation from the passkey originally. This will be the actual from us. We're tracking this as deadline. It's in the system. So if you don't get one and you thought you reserved a room, whether you paid for it or you qualify for a free room, then you'll email. I'll give you an email in a second where to send that to. But so also the concessions have been moved mainly to Hall A. So when you're on break and you get hungry, or if anybody asks, the majority of the concessions are in Hall A in the back. There's also concessions in B, C, and D now. They're opening up, I just learned today, big meeting up there, Mark. They're opening up the old concession stands in the back. So we'll have pizza, hot dogs, nachos all along the back and more seating. My goal this year was that nobody eats off the floor this year. So I really thought that was really bad last year. And we just had so many people and just not enough furniture. So we're really trying hard so everybody can take a brief break in a chair to eat their food, whether it's a volunteer or an attendee. We really want the hospitality at our level, we want everybody to have a good time and not feel like I can't even eat my nachos in peace. So,
I'm going to interject here for a second. There will be alcohol on the floor. As volunteers, hold on. Don't drink while you're on shift.
Yeah, I got there yet.
When you have finished your shift, what you do when you're not wearing your volunteer shirt is your own business.
Isn't that in the volunteer handbook?
It is in the handbook. Make sure you read it.
So let's bring him in. So basically, just because your shift is late in the day does not mean you can drink all day and then come on shift at 7, okay? Just saying, guys. Everybody, all of us staff members, we want everybody to be on their top game. We want to represent the city of Houston with the utmost respect, and we want people to say, darn it, I want to come back next year. So all of you in this room are a part of that. Every year, you returning volunteers, all of you are a part of the convention. You bring your A game, you bring your ability and your knowledge to all of our departments, and we thank you very much for that, and we want y'all to know that. And y'all are the face to Houston and the country and the world. We have people coming in from Japan, we have people from Europe, we have guests nobody else has. So I want all of you, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, sorry. But yeah, I handle all the celebrities, I handle the outside parties. I have, so if you have not gotten something, or you need a room at the last minute because you're like, girl, I was at the party, I'm a little drunk, or no, I'm just kidding. If you're just tired, you don't think you can drive home, find Tanya or one of my team members, we'll find you a crash spot. We try to do 4 to a room, and not everybody has 4. Some people have 3, and we'll call that person and say, hey, we got someone that needs to stay the night. They're a little too tired. They need to be here at 7 in the morning. You know, we'll try to find a spot. I cannot guarantee you that spot, but we understand. It's a long day. What else? Our day starts, if you're on my team, you definitely need to talk. If you haven't been on my team before, I have a lot of new people. Our day starts all day. It's an all-day thing because our guests are all-day people. They're late-night owls. We go out all night sometimes with the guests because we don't send them anywhere by themselves in our world. You know, I don't know, what else should I say?
We'll meet with them.
Yeah, we'll meet with you afterwards and we'll kind of go down that route a little bit. So we have, on the 3rd floor, the cafe on the 3rd floor in Hall C will be open. So that's more seating, a little bit nicer food. There will be some other concession stands on the 3rd floor, but there are bars throughout the convention center. So, you know, just stay clear until after.
The bars are not open until 2 p.m. either. Keep that in mind. Shuttle. So the shuttle information should be finalized tomorrow, and we'll send it out to the volunteer director and her coordinators, and y'all all have that. But right now, currently, it'll start at the Hyatt, the Hilton, the Four Seasons, the Embassy Suites, and it will stop at 2 other places. Thursday night, it will go to Meteor Lounge for the party. So if you want to go to the party, there will be a shuttle going there. If you need to go to a convenience store or something, there is another shuttle stop at Edo, at Walker and St. Emmanuel. So that will be another stop. So there's a convenience store there, there's a Pizza Hut there, there's Neil's Bar, because a lot of us go to Neil's Bar after. There's Lucky's, you can eat at Lucky's. They'll have extra people doing food at Neil's and at Lucky's and at Little Woodrow's. They all have like some kind of person doing food where they have a kitchen. So it's lots of options to get out of the center, get out of the hotel, and eat a little bit cheaper. So, I don't know. I think that's about it right now.
Okay. We can pass it on to logistics. Okay. Is there anybody here who's actually volunteering in logistics?
Now that's funny because when we started this today, I said, okay, we had 1 person, actually it's 2 was my over-under. So we got
40 was.
No, there's 2 at least.
Got one over
Those
here.
10.
Got one over. That's your
I should have made a bet.
So, logistics department, we were responsible for putting on everything as far as getting all the materials in place. I myself am the AV coordinator, and my team is responsible for information as well as the production itself. And we're the guys you're going to see running around, and women that you're going to see running around in black shirts, and we're making everything happen. If you have any questions or if you have any need to disperse information because you were told to disperse information and you don't have a radio, then you will need to go to 332. I'm just saying. I was looking at you because you're over there.
I always have my radio.
I know you always have your radio, but the battery doesn't always work. But yes, ma'am. We'll make sure the attorney has many batteries. So if you have any information that you need to disperse because you were told to do so and you don't have a radio, then 332A, Alpha, and Delta is where we hang out. That's where the operations center will be, and that's where the information center will be, and we'll be able to get everybody the information that you need to talk about. And Dawn will talk about other information that you need to not get. She can smooth in after me.
Exactly.
So if you're in the logistics department, or if you have any AV technology-related questions, then see me afterwards. All right, Dawn, it's your turn.
Dawn is a nurse for you guys who don't know. She will be taking care of medical. And she's gonna...
And more stuff.
And more stuff.
And more stuff.
She's our con mom.
I am.
Oh, my.
Hi guys, I am your nurse. Yes, I believe inside my voice. I take care of first aid. I can take care of disabled services. I take care of lost kids. I take care of safety. I take care of first aid. You all will be given out little gift bags or survival kits when you get your stuff and there's do what? Yes. Remember those 976 numbers? There's supposed to be 5 Band-Aids in there for you guys for your personal use. Do not hand those Band-Aids out to anyone. Last year we sent out over 5,000 Band-Aids to attendees. Yes, over 5,000. Over 5,000. You can track my people? Yes. Yes.
Anyone has a boo-boo, you send them to the nurse.
Paper cut blisters. Any blisters on your feet because the cute shoes were really cute. They're not that cute. We need to take care of it the first day and not walk around for a couple more days because the condition of your feet will be absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. You do not want to mess with your feet. You really don't. Lost kids, if you do come across a lost kid, which we usually catch them before the parents catch them, they go to my room. My room is 370D, 3rd floor, not too far from the skyway to the very end of the convention hall, okay? If you do come across a lost kid, contact HPD in uniform, or one of my people, or there will be a Captain America minion running around. That is my man. He really is. He is my lost kid wrangler. So if you do come across one, call me. My number will actually be plastered all over the GRB. It is every year. By every bathroom, by every stairwell, by every elevator. My personal cell number is there. So if you see an accident and I don't hear about it, I will not be happy. Not at all. I will not. I really will not be happy. For disabled services, anybody that says they're disabled services are supposed to be getting it and don't have a little sticker on their badge, send them to me. I'll take care of it. If you think they might not be, you don't know what their issue is. You really do not. And if you personally have an issue, let me know. Please, let me know. It's easier to fix something before it breaks than to catch you because you passed out on the floor and I didn't know you had epilepsy or you suffer from migraines or you're diabetic and you haven't eaten all day. I'm not going to be happy. We want a happy nurse. We really do. Not a drunk nurse. That's later. That is Tuesday after the talk. Yeah, I handle all of disabled services, so if you have an issue or you don't know the answer, just come to me or one of my people. 370D. You have my number plastered all over the GRB, literally all over the GRB. Trying to think? Yeah, go for it.
The panels have been announced for everybody, so you'll have those on the app and everything. But we haven't done the autograph times, and there was a change in Stanley's schedule. But I think it really benefits us as a con because a lot of times we don't have time to get in line and get an autograph. He is arriving and doing pictures at 4:30 on Friday. Then he will sign autographs till 8 o'clock, which means a lot of y'all that get off at 6 or 7 will be able to get in line and get an autograph. That a lot of times it's hard for us to do that, so I want y'all to think about, if you can get the time off, if that's something you want to purchase. It's a little pricey at Stanley, $80. If you bring something, he'll sign it. I don't think he brings pictures to sign, so you got to bring something or buy something. So, He has comics that he sells. But he sells the comics, that's what I'm saying, it's not free. So I'm like, if you have a video, a movie or something, a Marvel movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever, just bring it up and have him sign it, and that is, if that's what you want to do. Because on Saturday, Sunday, he's going to be slammed. And you may not get a chance to stand in line long enough. But this is, I thought, oh man, this sucks, and he's so late, and nobody's going to get a line. And I thought it's a perfect opportunity to tell you guys, because it's going to go live here in a couple days. But a perfect opportunity for y'all to go ahead and say, you know, can I make the time? Let me talk to my coordinator, see if I can get in line and get over there. Because he will stay and sign until basically we close the hall. That's what his big agent told me. He's just a wonderful human being. If y'all worked with him last year or saw him last year, y'all, I mean, he's just such a sweetheart. Oh. I was going to go there, okay. It's going to come up. Some of y'all will be, some of y'all have discussed it with other people, some have not, or meant it on Facebook, but the renter autograph price.
Oh, yeah.
He's only here one day, and it is on par with market. If you go to Chris Helmsworth or whatever, it's $125. You know, it's you know, renter is on par with what the rates are. So for a one-day appearance. So if we get lucky and we could have had it for 2 days, it would have been a little bit more for his appearance, but the price would have come down a little if we could at least have 2 days with a little bit dollars.
And it's his first ever.
And y'all need to understand, she's right. It's his first ever con appearance. This because all of you in this room put on such a good show. Y'all need to understand that. We are becoming known as the first time con experience for these celebrities. I want all of you to give yourself a hand. Come on. It's because of everybody's teamwork in this room and the effort and energy you put in. We are becoming that con. Hence, we have Renner. The only reason Rosario Dawson isn't her first con this year is because she filled in for Stanley when his wife had to have surgery. And that was just a few weeks ago, or this would have been her first con. So we are becoming that con where they come for their first or second show, and it's because all of y'all work together, put on a great show, and it's just amazing, all of y'all. Thank you.
Okay, I did think of work. They pointed out one thing. Yes, we do. We party hard. Yeah, because I have about 2 hours of sleep at night during the convention. I am literally insane. That's horrible. On the first floor, you will see towards the front of the building in Hall A and Hall E, I believe, 2 little closets that say first aid.
No, you won't.
They took them away. Oh, yeah! Awesome. Well, I would have saved it. Oh yeah, we also handle babies. We also have decompression room or an AFK space if anybody's going to PAX Prime or any of the other gaming conventions. We have an AFK space, so if anybody is too wired and needs to decompress, come up to first aid, please. Please, I need you to breathe, cry, do whatever. Come do it up here with my people. Yes, and breastfeeding nursing moms. But we will have a breast. Love it. I want calls. I'll make more of it. No. Actually, my team is always on duty, so if you see anybody with a bright orange, well, it used to be bright orange lanyard running around in the con in a regular t-shirt or whatever they're wearing, they know they are always on duty. We don't turn it off at all, because most of them are paramedics, EMTs, nurses, a few doctors. We're not shutting this thing off. We are on call the entire time that building is open. And we will be in the building until 2 a.m. Grade 1 night at all. If anybody has a question or if you have a medical condition, email it to me, the nurse. It's really easy, the nurse at Comicpalooza.com. Easy. Just shoot me an email. On Friday, if anybody is actually working on Friday, from 10 to 2, and on Saturday from 10 to 2. I have outside groups, Walgreens, and the City of Houston and Harris County doing free health screenings. So if you're diabetic, we can get your, if you're diabetic, we can get your blood sugar checked. If you have high blood pressure, we can get that checked. And if anybody's interested in cholesterol, we can get that checked too. But please come out, because it's always easier to use somebody else's resources than to use our own, because I only know some of the benefits. And those test strips are expensive, very expensive.
Okay,
So,
it's going to just be a little bit longer. I can hear a lot of buzzing going on in the background.
I'm done.
Are there any other staff members who'd like to say anything to the volunteers? Joe Charles, come on up.
Joe is the man.
So,
Yes, he's gaming.
yes, I'm the gaming director, tabletop and electronic video gaming. The main thing I want to make sure you're aware of, just in case you're asked, is that all of the gaming is on the 3rd floor. The game HQ is actually located in Hall C. It's in Ballroom B, and it's in the back of the hall. So if anybody's looking for gaming schedules or what they can do, that's a good place to check in. Thanks.
Anyone else on staff? Okay, so I'm going to, Ro will come up. Sorry, thank you, Ro.
Hello, team. Okay, so this is my first official Comicpalooza as a staff member. I've been several times, thank you. I've attended several times as an attendee, dragged the grandkids out. They were baby Luke and baby Leah, and we had a great time. Right now, at the con, I'm actually going to be supporting Rosario quite a lot. I'm going to be helping her more with the PR stuff. As far as the marketing goes, most of my job is done before the show starts. There should be wonderful signage everywhere. There will be wonderful t-shirts for everyone to wear. Do you have a question, or are you just stretching?
I'm stretching, sorry.
And then materials, so any other swag and that kind of stuff I would be responsible for. My colleague, Brenda Ferris, is the director of e-marketing. And she is overseeing our social media. We have some members here tonight from that team too. Where'd they go? Carrie? Oh, Carrie and George and some others. Yeah. Now from my team, you will see the photographers and videographers, Joseph and his guys. The design team will probably be passed out somewhere because they just gave me the program, which we will also be actually producing this year, I'm glad to say.
Yay! I should be super stoked about that.
Right? And then also the street team, which is actually under me right now, but they're going to be working more closely with Brenda's team during the con. We're going to do some promotions on the floor for certain contests and so forth with our social media. So I think I've covered everything. Anything I left out for marketing or e-marketing? No? Okay. Oh, here comes Carrie. Hashtag Carrie Gordon.
Hello everyone, I'm Carrie. I'm social media coordinator. Hashtag Comicpalooza. Anything you ever do, hashtag. Did I say hashtag?
Hashtag.
Twitter, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, internet, everywhere. Hashtag.
Yeah, do remember that because it helps us to measure our presence. It's also going to be on all the signage, so if you happen to forget, you should be reminded somewhere during the con. Thank you, Ro.
Okay, so if you still need to pay a deposit, I will be taking that afterwards. But for right now, you've seen the majority of the staff. You can go ahead and break up into the areas where you will be working to find out any direction that they may have for your individual area.